In this video, we're gonna go from being an absolute beginner in Facebook advertising it to completely mastering it, okay? If you've never done Facebook ads before, or maybe you've had some information about it, we're gonna touch on absolutely everything that you guys need to know. And these are the same strategies that I was able to apply within the last couple of months to take a brand new business from absolutely zero to over $150,000 in sales, okay guys? I truly believe that knowing digital advertising is the key to growing any business, okay? Imagine being able to take any company, putting it in front of the right audiences, and being able to generate money doing that. That is what Facebook and digital advertising allows you to do. So in this video, we're gonna take you from beginner, okay, to a complete master. Make sure you guys stay all the way into the end. My name is Joaquin Corrales. Subscribe to this channel. We're releasing videos daily. We're gonna hop into my computer and get right into it. All right, guys, so we're going to jump right into it. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the business manager, okay? And we're going to create our ad accounts through the business manager because it's going to make everything a whole lot easier. And later on in the future, let's say we want to give access to someone to come to our ad account and check it out or something of that sort, this is going to be the way to go. So you're going to create an account in the business manager. Obviously, you need a Facebook account. So after you have your Facebook account created, you're going to come to business.facebook.com. You're going to click on create account here, and then it's going to ask you for a business name. Just enter the name of your business or enter your name, not a big deal, and it's going to go ahead and create an account. Now, after you create an account with the business manager, you're going to one, create a Facebook page, right? And it's important that you create a Facebook page for your business because that's what's going to show at the top left-hand corner of your ads, okay? So once we start creating the different ads and going through the different strategies that you need to apply, then your profile, your business, it's what's going to show up there. So it's important that you guys create that. The second thing that you're going to be prompted to create once you go in through the business manager is an ad account. So the steps are going to be right there in your face. You're going to hit 1, 2, 3 and just go through them. And so after you have all of that set up, okay, which should only take about 2 minutes, you're going to come to a screen that looks like this. And this is the start of creating our first advertising campaign. And we have a whole bunch of different marketing objectives that we could choose from. But before we go into the marketing objective that is right for specific types of campaigns, let me kind of explain the hierarchy of Facebook ads. So you guys could kind of see here on the left-hand side. So we have a campaign, we have an ad account, it's already made, ad set, and ad. So let me draw it here so that it's easily understood. So here we have at the highest level, we have a campaign, okay? And at the campaign level, we're gonna choose our objective, okay? What is gonna be the objective of this campaign? Do we want people to engage with our post? Do we want people to come to our website, right? That would be a traffic. Do we want people to add certain items to cart? So at this level, we choose the objective. Now, a level under the campaign are going to be what are called ad sets, okay? And what ad sets are going to do is that ad sets are going to target different audiences, okay? So as we create campaigns, we're going to be testing different, these are ad sets. We're going to be testing different audiences with different characteristics and different interests. And that's what these different ad sets are going to do. And now every single ad set also has different ads, right? They could be the same ads or they could be different ads. And those ads, right, at that end level, at that end goal, are the ads that people are seeing. So this thing all the way at the far right hand side is what people are seeing, what they're interacting with in their feed, and what they're giving feedback based off of, okay? So you guys are gonna see that as we create advertisements for this sample business, okay, and this sample business is gonna be a coffee shop, you guys are gonna see that we're gonna create advertisements, we're gonna create ad sets, we're gonna create campaigns, and we're gonna do it in a way where we're going to be testing what is the most effective way to run advertisements for this business, okay? And that's how you do it in real life. In real life, this is how you do it. You choose your campaign. So what's going to be the objective of your campaign? Then you create different ad sets that are all targeting different audiences, and then you point different ads to it. And then we see, okay, this ad set is not going to work. This ad set works. This one does not. This one does not. And so we start spending more money on this one because this audience is the one that is responding to these advertisements. And maybe that's a little bit confusing. Maybe you don't understand 100% how all of that fits into play, but it's going to become a lot more obvious right now once we start actually drilling into the platform and creating these campaigns, these ad sets, these different ads. And so that kind of acknowledges a very common misconception about paid advertising, which is that it's a black hole, right? This is a red hole, but it's just, imagine a black hole where you just throw money down and you're not sure what your ROI is going to be, how much money you're going to make back, or how it all works. And paid advertisement is not like that, okay? It's the key to growing any business, because if you're able to have a product, okay, especially a product that's good, and put it in front of the right audiences, okay, then they're going to pay you for it, okay? They're going to come to your offline business, your online business. It does not matter. And how you do that is by testing. So you're not spending actual money on advertisement until things are working. Okay, you could spend on these ad sets from $1 to even $5, let's say. Obviously, you could spend as much as you want, but you only have to spend from $1 to $5 to see if this ad set is going to work at all. And if this one works, then we're gonna close all the other ones. So we're not gonna spend money there anymore, and we're only gonna spend money on the ones that work. Okay. But before we get into that, I also want to talk about something else that's super important, and that is the Facebook pixel. Okay. And the Facebook pixel is gonna be essential to our success in Facebook advertisement. And the reason why it's gonna be essential is because the Facebook pixel is gonna allow us to track everything. Okay, it's gonna allow us to track everything. And later on in this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to create a Facebook pixel and how you're going to install it on your website. And so what the Facebook pixel is just imagine like a line of code, okay? And this line of code is going to live on your website. So here you have your website and your Facebook pixel is going to live there. And what happens is that every single person who visits your website from wherever they're coming from is going to trigger it. It's going to be triggered by itself. And so Facebook is going to know exactly who that person is. Okay, they're going to know exactly who that person is that came onto your website. And so what we're going to be able to do by tracking that information, which is extremely easy to track, is that we're later going to be able to run advertisements, okay? We're going to be able to run different ads to all these people, okay? We're going to be able to run ads to all these people that came into our website, okay? That's how you see those examples of people of maybe everyone has done this, right? You go to a certain website, and then after you leave the website, you go on Facebook and there's an ad in your face. Or you go on Instagram and there's an ad right there in front of you of the place that you just visited. This is not complicated at all. And it's also no accident, okay? It's no accident that you just saw an advertisement for Taylor Swift shoes after you were Googling for them, okay? It's no accident at all. How that happens is through the Facebook pixel. So these websites have a Facebook pixel installed. You go onto their website. The pixel knows that it's you, right? It knows that it's you that went on there. And then when you go back to Facebook, this person, the business that whose advertisement you're seeing, has a campaign running that is targeting the people that activated this pixel, okay? And it goes way more in depth than that and way more advanced. And we're also going to cover that in this video, right? Because we're going to completely master Facebook advertisement. And so not only are we going to create campaigns that are going to target people that visited your website or did certain actions, but we're also going to be able to do what's called creating lookalike audiences, okay? And lookalike audiences is where the real money is at, and this is extremely powerful. And the reason why lookalike audiences is extremely powerful is because imagine that you have 500 people that, for example, bought a certain product, okay? These people purchased from you. Or maybe you have 1,000 people that visited your website, okay? And the people that are visiting your website, they're a specific type of person, right? Let's say that I have let's use the coffee shop business example that we're gonna be using here. If 1,000 people visit my coffee shop website, more than likely those 1,000 people are going to be interested in coffee, right? And so what I'm going to do with Facebook is that I'm going to tell Facebook, all right, Facebook, you see there's 1,000 people that came into my website. I want you to go out there on Facebook, out of every single person that is a Facebook user, and I want you to find people that look like them, okay? And not physically look like them, but that are like them, right? And this is what's considered a lookalike audience. So Facebook is going to use its super high level and super complex algorithms to generate millions of people that are like these 1,000 people, right? So that's why sometimes you see people or you hear people say that the more data that you give Facebook, the more information that you give them, the better your advertisements are going to run. Because if you only have 5 people that purchased from you, then first of all, you can't even create a lookalike audience, but you could imagine that having 5 people and going out there on Facebook and finding people similar to them is going to give you something that is of a much broader range, people that are not so similar to them, as opposed to if you have 500 people, right? Because now Facebook has more data to use to go out there and find people that look exactly like them, right? That have the same characteristics of these people. And that's how you tap into cold traffic, right? Which are people that don't know anything about your brand. So we're going to focus on absolutely everything in this video. Let's get right into it. So we're going back into the ad account and let's go over a lot of these different marketing objectives here. So to be honest, I have only used maybe a very small fraction of these marketing objectives. But the funny thing is that you will too. Okay, there are tons of things here that you're going to, or there are tons of things here in our face that we're really never going to use. The ones that I use the most are engagement, conversions, traffic, and I've used in the past app installs, right? Because I also own a mobile development company and some clients wanted to run campaigns that focus on app installs. But all of these that are brand awareness, reach, video views, lead generation, messages, store visits, I have personally never used those. So yes, you could use store visits if you have an offline business, but that's not what we're going to cover in this section. So the ones that we're going to use the most are traffic, engagement, and conversions. And I remember when I first started running Facebook advertisement a long time ago, this is my train of thought behind this. So I wanted people to download an ebook, right? So I had an ebook. Let me go back on Photoshop for a second. So I had this ebook right here, okay? I had this ebook and I had my website. The ebook was on my website and I wanted to start running Facebook ads to it. And so when I was looking at this page right here, I thought, okay, I could use conversions, which means that I could specify an objective. I could use engagement or I could use traffic. And logically thinking, I went with traffic, right? And the reason why I went with traffic, and maybe you guys would as well, is because I thought, okay, if there's tons of people coming into my website from everywhere, if I have more traffic on my website, then I'm gonna have more people downloading my ebook, okay? That was the logic behind it. And what ended up happening was that I was negative $1,000, okay? And not a single person had downloaded my ebook. Okay, let me say that again. I spent $1,000 on traffic advertisement and not a single person had downloaded my ebook. And there was a lot of mistakes in there that you guys are going to be able to avoid, and we're going to go over in this video. But the main mistake was that I chose the wrong marketing objective, okay? So I thought, logically speaking, okay, I just want traffic. And that's what Facebook did. Facebook gave me traffic to my website, right? Which was wrong. I ultimately didn't want traffic. What I wanted was people to complete a certain action, which was to download my ebook, okay? So you guys, the lesson there is that you guys need to choose the marketing objective that you need for whatever you want, but you can't try and come up with your own solution to your issue, I guess, right? If you want more people to buy your product, then you might think that traffic is good because more people are going to land on your website. So logically speaking, more people are going to buy. That's wrong, okay? You need to follow exactly what Facebook says. So if you literally want traffic, then you would choose traffic. You would choose engagement if you want people to engage with your post. So let's say that you post it on Facebook or your advertisement and you want people to like it, to comment it, to view it, you would do engagement. And the most popular one is conversions, okay? We're going to start with an engagement campaign and then we're going to go into conversions. But conversions is the most popular one. And the reason why that's the most popular one, and it's the one that I mostly use on a daily basis, is because the conversions campaign focuses on optimizing for a specific action, okay? So let's say that you guys have an online store and you want people to buy your product. You're going to be able to create a conversions campaign that optimizes for add to cart, or that optimizes for people buying stuff, or that optimizes for someone downloading your ebook. And what's going to happen is that Facebook is going to start storing data of every single person that completes that action and is going to start presenting the advertisement to other people that are like them, okay? So what I should have done on that ebook example was not to do traffic. What I should have done was I should have started a conversions campaign, okay? And what the conversions campaign is going to do automatically is that it's going to start showing your advertisement to every single person who you targeted, right? Because you have to specify who you want to target. But what it's going to do later, it's gonna know that, okay, this type of people, they like the ebook, okay? This audience right here, they like the ebook. So it's going to start spending all the advertisement money and targeting people that are here because it's optimizing for people that are doing what you want, okay? It's optimizing for the conversions, okay, which is ultimately what I needed when I wanted people to download that ebook, okay? So we're gonna start with an engagement one here, and remember the engagement one is for people for when you want people to comment, to like, and to do those types of things to your post. So we're gonna click here on engagement, and at the bottom it's gonna tell us to enter a name. And so see here, we could engage for a bunch of different things. So, or we could optimize for different things. For post engagement, do we want people to engage with a post? Do we want people to like a page, right? Or event responses. Let's do it with page likes. You're going to choose your name right there, not a big deal. And here you're going to set up your ad account, okay? So obviously you need an ad account set up. And then once you do that, then it's going to run it with that one. So let's just hit continue here. Great, my ad account is set up. And you're only going to have to do that one time. And it's because I just created this profile. So here at the top is where you choose your page. Remember that earlier we spoke about how you need to have a page and how you're going to create it. So here we have the best coffee shop. And then as far as the ad set name, if we go back to Photoshop here for a second, we're going to realize that we already chose our campaign. Okay, our campaign objective was engagement up here. And now we're here in this middle level where we have our ad sets. And remember how we said earlier that our ad sets are going to target different audiences. So usually what I'll name my ad set is like the name of the audience. So here I'm advertising a business for a coffee shop business. Okay, so the first people that I'm going to target are going to be people who are interested in coffee plus Starbucks. So I'm going to call that as my ad set name. And let's go down here through the options and kind of learn what it is that's going on here. So here we have the page. We already chose the page. Here we have the audience. And this is the most important part, because if we're able to target the right audience, right? If we're able to put this in front of people who are interested in what we have, then we are going to have success with our advertisement. So I'm going to take this off here. We're going to custom audiences later. We're not going to do that right now. So people who live in this location. So usually you're going to want to target people in countries of a high GDP, right? Richer countries. And the reason for that is because not all leads are created equal. But in this example, okay, in the example of post engagement, what you're going to want to do in order to build social proof with your audiences is that maybe you target the entire world, okay? But later on, when we start running advertisements for conversions and for people that are buying stuff from us, then we're not going to target the whole world. We're going to be really specific. And that was an issue that I made as well when I started running advertisement, was that I wanted people to download my ebook, okay? But more importantly, I wanted people to download my ebook who had money, okay? Because I wanted to later on sell them stuff. But what I did with my first advertisements was that I targeted the whole world, okay? This is Earth right here, Earth. I targeted the whole world, and that was terrible, because what happened was that there were people of countries with very low GDP that were downloading my ebook, and then Facebook said, oh, okay, people from these countries really like your ebook, we're only going to show it to them. And so all of my leads and the entire $1,000 that I spent basically had like one US lead and like 2 Canadian leads, right? It was absolutely terrible. And so we have to make sure that we choose the right locations. But as far as an engagement post, it does not matter, okay? It doesn't matter, because I just want social proof, and I want people to like my post. I want people to comment. I really don't care where they're from, because that's not how I'm going to make the money, right? But once your Facebook post has more likes and more comments and everything, then people are going to start paying more attention to it. So down here, you're also able to select the age. So how old do you want your audience to be? And we're going to learn as we go through this is that we're going to be able to optimize our campaigns. So when you first start off, you're probably not going to have any idea what it is that you're going to need to set this at. But like, for example, you're not going to know whether you need to only target people from 30 to 45 years old. But once we start our campaign and we spend our first $2, $3, $4, we're going to be able to learn who are the people that are responding to this advertisement, and then come back and modify our campaigns, okay? That is always the way to go. Now, as far as language, I'm always going to select English, right? I'm not writing advertisements in Spanish. You would select it in your own language. And then this is really where the most important part comes in, which is in the targeting of the based on interest, right? So what do I want people what type of people do I want seeing this advertisement? Okay, so here, this thing predefines some stuff. I don't want that. I don't even want this. Detailed targeting. So include people who match at least one of the following. So in here, I could put like online shopping. Let's just select a bunch of these. Let's select coffee. Let's select coffee houses. Okay, I can't spell. Coffee houses, coffee maker. Right, so what this is going to do, let's say that I just went with this audience here, that I started my campaign with this audience. What this is going to do is that Facebook is going to go out there and it's going to see people it's going to find people that like coffee makers, that like coffee houses, that like online shopping, and they only have to like one of those. And as long as they like one of those, then they're going to advertisement. Okay. Now, when we're setting this up for this example of the best coffee shop, and this is really a mistake that a lot of beginners make, is that, for example, they're gonna come here and they're gonna want to target coffee, right? They're just going to target coffee. And as you could see, it said there are 363 million people. Like, this is too many people. Your audiences cannot be this big. Usually I've had the greatest success with audiences at most having like from 4 to 6 million people targeting. Okay, and even less, it's better. The less you have, the better, because technically that means that you're more targeted, right? And I'll show you what that means in a second. So here we're targeting coffee, okay? But what we're going to do is something that's called flex targeting. And this is a bit more advanced, but it's important that we start doing it from the beginning, because it's going to allow our advertisements to be a lot more powerful. So here we're targeting people that like coffee, but I not only want people to see my advertisements that like coffee, but I also want to click right here on narrow audience, okay? And I'm also going to target people that like Starbucks. And as you can see, only 49 million people, only freaking generally speaking, because that's a really big number, but 49 million people like Starbucks. But what this is going to do right here is that it's going to target people that like coffee and like Starbucks. Okay, so out of these 49 million people, some of them are going to also like coffee, and it's going to target them. And you know what? Something else that I'm going to do, I'm going to narrow it down even more, is that I'm probably going to go out there, I'm going to find a brand of coffee maker, okay, a coffee maker brand or a coffee brand. Let's actually do that right now. So let's go on Google and let's look for the best coffee brands, and I'm going to target people that like those coffee brands, because in Facebook, you could, technically speaking, accidentally be interested in coffee as per their algorithm, right? So let's say that this one day you liked a Facebook post of someone who posted something about coffee, right? You liked it because you thought it was cool in the moment. Facebook might think that you're interested in coffee, but in reality, you just like the Facebook post because you thought it was cool, right? But if I target people that are interested in a coffee brand, like, people are not accidentally interested in a coffee brand. You get what I mean? How it's so specific that that if you like that, then you literally like coffee, right? Like, let's say you're targeting people in the fitness industry and you want to target people that are into bodybuilding. You could just come in here and you could type in bodybuilding, right? Which is super general, and you should never do that. 135 million people. Or you could come here and type in optimum nutrition. See? Now you have 9 million people, and Optimum Nutrition is a very popular brand of supplements. So people who like Optimum Nutrition are more than likely into bodybuilding, like a lot more likely than someone who's just interested in bodybuilding. And then you could do what we're doing here, which is that you click on narrow, right? Narrow further, which allows you to make it so that people are interested in both. And let me draw here a very quick example so you guys are able to more easily understand this. So right here we have people who are interested in coffee, right? Here we have people who are interested in coffee. Here we have people who are interested in Starbucks, okay? Starbucks. And so what we're doing by pressing the exclude option, or the include, what was it called? Narrow further, right? When we're pressing the narrow option, is that we're doing this. We're grabbing this circle of people who like coffee, and then we're grabbing this circle of people who like Starbucks, and we're joining them like this, okay? And this is the audience that we're targeting. So now we're going to target these people here, right? Who like coffee and who also like Starbucks, okay? And so we're going to do it even further. We're going to do it a third level, and I'm going to go on Google right here and type in best coffee brands. Let's see what we can find here. 13 best coffee brands.
And this is kind of the research that I personally do as well, as I'm finding different audiences. And what you guys are going to learn is that you're never going to have an audience off the top of your head that's going to be super effective. What you have to do is you have to create different ad sets targeting different audiences and then seeing how they perform, okay? You're never going to come into this and on your first try just hit it out of the park and find the best audience that's going to perform the best. Could you? Yeah, but the chances are very low. So you're going to have to do this research here. Like, for example, this says Dama. Let's see if that's even something that I could choose here. And see, so it's not there. And actually, in the middle of this campaign creation here, I'm gonna go over something else, which is it's called the audience insights. And that's another way that we could do research in order for us to find people that are interested in coffee. And it's important that we do research not only before our creating our campaign, but even during the campaign. Okay, as I'm creating these campaigns here in real time with you, this is literally what I would be doing. So for example, I'm going to go on Google and I'm going to type in Facebook insights, Facebook audience insights, I'm pretty sure. And I'm going to click here. Just look for something called audience insights. Okay, Google it. It's going to take you back to Facebook one way or another. And Facebook is down. All right, so we're back here. And how I found the Facebook insights and how I got it to work, because it seemed to have been down, was that I just opened up a new tab of this. And I went up here to the top left and I hit audience insights. Okay, so as we're creating our campaign here in this different tab, I'm going to always have audience insights open on another tab, and I'm going to use it to find people of different interests. So for example, I'm going to come back to audience insights and I'm going to type here in this interest part here, I'm going to type in Starbucks, and it's actually going to give us a whole bunch of information about people who are interested in the in Starbucks, right? In the interest that is Starbucks. So people that are interested in Starbucks, according to audience insights, are 77% are women, 23% are men, and these are other things that they're interested in. Okay, so they're interested in children's first, career building, out and about, relationship status, education level. So there's really a whole bunch of information here that we could use to create our audience, right? What do we need our audience to like? Because people that like Starbucks are also interested in this specific thing. And one of my favorite places to go to is the page likes section right here. So I'm going to go to the page likes and I'm going to take a look at the pages that people that are interested in Starbucks are liking, and I'm going to specifically focus on the ones that are relating to Starbucks. So here we have Facebook. So obviously I like Facebook, Family Guy, The Simpsons. So it seems like these are all things that are pretty random. Let me see if I could just type in like coffee maker. So I'm also going to search for coffee maker. Let's see what comes up. I'm going to take off Starbucks actually. All right, so it seems like everyone who's interested in coffee likes Family Guy, but that doesn't help, okay? When you guys see something like that, make sure you don't come here and like target Family Guy. That has nothing to do with it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go back on Google and I'm going to keep looking for some coffee brands. So top coffee brands. Dunkin' Donuts, no, maybe Dunkin' Donuts. Let's go back and try it. So I'm gonna look up, and sometimes you guys are gonna come here and look for interests that don't show up. There's really nothing you could do about that. Like you can't, if you don't see an interest here that Facebook doesn't give you an option for it, then you can't target it. So Dunkin' Donuts, no, I want to go more specific. Let's try Maxwell House. And you guys also want to target or want to find like competitors here and see what people are liking that have to do with the competitors. So let's see what Maxwell House is. I'm gonna Google that. Okay, so Maxwell House is a brand of coffee manufactured. Great. So it's a coffee brand. Let's see what people here are doing. So it's still women. So you guys can see here that a big percentage of the people that like everything to do with coffee are women. So maybe that tells me to come here and only target people that are women. But since this is a brand new campaign, I'm just going to leave it on everybody. And then once it starts running, I'm going to be able to see if I want to switch it to just women. So let's see if we could find, all right, let's try this one. Nescafe. All right, I think this is going to be a good one. All right, so see 87% of women. Yeah, we're probably definitely going to do that, but let's just leave it like this for now. So I'm going to go to page likes and see what these people are liking. So let's see what Tasty is. Adam Sandler, Usually what you'll be able to do as well, and look, this audience size is perfect, 900K to 1 million. So let's come back to our ad sets and we're going to do people that like coffee, people that like Starbucks, and people that like this brand right here, okay? And so I think this is a pretty good audience to start with. Up here, I'm gonna put who my audience is targeting, because it's gonna be easier for me to see from the outside. The best coffee shop, I got that. We're gonna go in the entire world, and we're gonna do it people that like these brands right here, 18 to 65, targeting all. Okay, we're gonna go down, and usually the automatic placements, I'll leave it on automatic, right? I'll leave it to post it absolutely anywhere. But later on, once we get into more advanced stuff, we're going to see how we're going to be able to check how a specific advertisement is performing and be able to edit it and be like, hey, I only want to show this on Instagram, or I only want to show this here or there, right? But for now, we're going to leave it on automatic placements, and we could start our advertisements for as little as $5. Okay, and this what you guys have to realize is that as you're creating these ads, the amount of money that you're going to spend is going to be at the ad set level, and it's going to be daily. So how much money do you want to spend on a daily basis? So I'm going to leave this here at $5. I'm going to hit continue. We found one error. Where are the people you want to reach? Add a location for your audience. Okay, so it seems like we have to have a location here even if we want the whole world. So let's just do North America. We'll do South America, and make sure that you guys choose region as opposed to whatever I just did here. So North America, see how it says place here? I'm looking for North America region. So let's just target South America and North America, and maybe we'll just do Europe too. Europe region and Asia. We'll do Australia. Okay, great. So see here we have 1.9 million people, and this is a perfect audience size to start with. And the reason for why this is a perfect audience size is because it's not an audience that's too big, and it's an audience that's micro-targeted, which means that it's people that like coffee, people that like Starbucks, and they like this coffee brand. Okay, so these people are more than likely going to be interested in my coffee shop, and they're going to bring engagement to this post. Remember that, yeah, maybe the end goal here is to get people to come to my coffee shop, but this is not what this advertisement is for. This advertisement is for engagement. Okay, I want people to engage with this post so that they could bring social proof to my post, right? Later on, we're going to set up different advertisements to sell different products or whatnot. So let's go down, and we're going to hit here continue. So we have it selected at $5. And now the section that we're at right now, if we go back here to Photoshop, is the advertisement section. Okay, so now we already created the campaign. Let's choose your different color just so that you guys are able to see this. We created the campaign, we created an ad set. Now we have to choose the different ads for that ad set. And then what we're gonna do later is that we're gonna duplicate from this point out. So let me change the color one more time. So what we're gonna do after we finish what we're about to do is that we're gonna come here, we're gonna duplicate this into another one, except we're gonna change who we're targeting. And that's gonna be the easiest way for us to test all of this. It'll make sense as we do it, so let's go on. So here we're at the ad section, which is the final piece of our campaign. And after we do this, after we confirm this, our advertisement will go out to the world and everybody will see it. So here we have different options. We could select a single image, and it's cool because we could select up to 6 images, and Facebook is just going to have those on rotation, and then later on we'll be able to kill the ones that don't work. Here we have a single video, so we could put one video, or it's slideshow, which is a looping video with up to 10 images. What I usually do about 99% of the time is that I just do an image. Sometimes I will also do a video. It just depends, but you guys are going to have to test with the different ones and see what works best. So I'm just going to find some sample pictures here on Google and to use. So let's try coffee shop. Okay, cool. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I'm going to come back to my advertisement. I'm going to upload that image. Let's wait for it to upload here. And guys, this is live. Like, this is me creating a campaign here just as I would if I was doing it for myself, and kind of giving you guys the entire walkthrough of how everything works out. So here we have the image. We have the best coffee shop, which is the name of our Facebook page. We have a picture there of the shop, brand, 0 likes, blah, blah, blah. This is the best coffee shop ever. This is the best coffee shop ever. So you have some text there advertising your brand. And as you can see, this is a pay per engagement. And we're also optimizing for people liking our page. So that means that Facebook is going to tell us how we're going to set up our ads. So it's going to be like this. We're only going to be able to provide the text. Later on, when we create a campaign for conversions, then we're going to want to specify, for example, a page for them to go to and so on. But now we just have an image. So there we go. We have some text, we have the image, we have everything ready to go. I could add more images here. I could also hit free stock images, and it's cool because they'll give me access to a whole bunch of images that they have. So look, I could include like this one. I could include this one. What the hell? There. Could include that one. I could include this one. I could hit done. And look, I'm gonna be able to use their pictures there as well. So that's super cool. So I'm gonna hit confirm here, and we're off. Our first advertisement is off the ground. And oh look, it turns out that you need to pay. No, you don't need to pay. You actually just need to add your credit card information so that they'll be able to obviously charge you as your advertisement gets ran. So I'm gonna finish up adding this up here real quick, and then we're gonna go into how we're gonna be able to analyze this campaign so that we're able to take things off, to make it better, to optimize it so that we can get the best results for the lowest amount of money. And then after that, we're going to go into creating a convergence campaign. All right, so after we enter our credit card information, then our campaign will be submitted. Okay, so right now we're running an engagement campaign. So as you guys could see here on these top 3 levels, this is basically where you're going to live, and this is where you're going to be able to analyze these campaigns in order for you to optimize them. Okay, and optimizing a campaign simply means fixing up who you're targeting, like who your audience is, fixing up the advertisement, seeing which ones are working better, so that you only leave things running if they're actually working and if they're actually making a sense, right, as far as how much things are going to cost. So as far as the campaign, you could break things down here by day, by week, by delivery, by location. You could have a whole bunch of different columns, but that's not what we want as far as the campaign is concerned. We want to go to ad sets. And the reason why we're going to want to go to ad sets is because remember that we said that every single ad set is going to target different people. So if we separate here this campaign and see who it's optimizing for, that won't be as effective as if we do it in the ad sets section. So let's go to the ad sets right here. And in this example, we only have one, but let's go ahead real quick and let's just duplicate that. So for example, what you will do after you create your first one. So right here, I just finished creating my first advertisement. I don't want to target one. I don't want to have one ad set at a time because I'm not sure if this is going to be effective, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have multiple ad sets running at the same time, all of them targeting different audiences to see which one is going to work best. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to hit duplicate, and it's basically going to create another copy of it and another copy of every single ad. But what I'm going to do when I duplicate it is that I'm going to edit the audience, okay? Because I don't want to target 2 ad sets with the same exact audience, right? That makes no sense at all. So for this example, let's say that I'm going to target people that like that same brand. Here you would just figure out a different way, a different audience that applies to the same niche, right? In this case, coffee shops. So let's say I'm gonna do people that like coffee makers, or that also like coffee beans, or that like coffee talk. Okay, I think coffee talk sounds like a talk show, maybe a podcast or something. But 202,000 people like it, so that's good enough. So what this audience right now is doing is that people would need to be interested in one of these things. And if they're interested in one of these, then they're going to be targeted. And I'm going to click save and continue. Okay. And that's going to be my new ad set. That's it. I'm not going to touch the ads because this is like a science experiment. Okay. You only want to change one thing at a time, because if you change multiple things, then you don't know what was the cause of it performing better. So what we do, and what I always do in every single one of these advertisements, is that in every single one of these campaigns, is that I have my first one, the first ad set that I create when I first create the campaign is going to have either 2, 3, 4, whatever amount of different ads that I want. And then I'm going to come to the ad set section. I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to leave the same exact ads. I'm only going to change the audience. Okay. And if one of them starts outperforming the other, then I know that that is the audience that I need to start targeting. Okay. It's not because if you change the ads as well, right? If you change this end level right here, then you're not sure if the reason why those ads are performing better is because the ads are different or if it's because of the audience, right? So that's why you want to make sure that you only change one thing at a time. And let me actually edit the name here because this is not the same as that. So coffee talk plus coffee maker plus coffee, coffee bean. Coffee bean. Okay. So I usually name my ad set with the name of the audience. So there it is. There's my audience. So now I'm spending $5 on this one, $5 on this one. And then if we select them both, we're going to notice that there's going to be 6 advertisements. And the reason why there's 6 advertisements is because it's 3 for each of the ad sets, right? It multiplies. But what we want to do as this is running is that we want to monitor it. We want to monitor it because we want to be getting page likes in this example, because that's what we chose our campaign for in the beginning, for the cheapest amount of money. Okay, and how I'm going to do that is by using this breakdowns feature right here. So I'm actually going to select by action, and then I'm going to do, like, for example, by conversion device. And this is going to show me, and right now it's not showing anything because I don't have any data, but it would show me what devices the conversions are coming from. I could also do it by delivery and see what age, gender, country, impression device, and by breaking it down by all these different types, I'm going to be able to drill down into where I need to be showing my advertisement, to who I need to be showing my advertisement to, depending on what's working best. So right now it's not letting me because there's no data here. There's no data as far as these likes. But what you guys need to do is focus on breaking it down by age. So you're going to come here by delivery, choose by age, and you're going to see from what age to what age your advertisement is performing the best. And then all you're going to do is you're going to click right here on this edit button, and you're going to scroll down and you're going to edit who you're targeting, because you only want to target the people that are coming in the cheapest. You're also going to want to come here and separate it by device. Okay, what devices is this performing the best on? And then you're going to come here, you're going to click edit. As always, you're going to click edit, you're going to come down and you're going to click edit placements, okay? And you're going to be able to select the devices that it's performing the best on. And so that's kind of like a real quick overview of optimizing your campaigns, right? And that is ultimately something that's advanced because you want to be able to create these campaigns quickly. You want to be able to target the right people, and then you want to be able to optimize them so that you're able to get the most for your money. Okay. Now the next type of campaign that we're going to create is going to be a convergence campaign. And in this convergence campaign, we're going to target add to carts. And what that means is that, let's come here, Photoshop, kind of draw it out so we have a better idea. So I have this coffee shop, and this coffee shop not only is a local shop, but it also sells things online. And so what I want to do is right here, I have my store, right? I have my online store. It's called the coffee shop, and then it sells different things in there. I sell different things in that store. And so what I want to do is I want to pick certain items that I want to advertise. So I'm going to advertise, in this case, this one item right here. And here I have Facebook. And what I'm going to do in Facebook is that I'm going to create a convergence campaign, and that convergence campaign is going to be optimizing, right? It's going to be optimizing for add to cart. And so what that means is that I'm going to take this campaign, I'm going to create it, I'm going to create the advertisement, and this campaign has an objective of people adding this product to their cart. So what that means is that people are going to see my ad, right? I'm going to create an advertisement, people are going to see it, they're going to go into the ad into my website, okay? Into my website, and they're going to add this product right here to cart. And every time that happens, Facebook is going to count it. Okay, now you guys might be wondering, how is Facebook going to do that? So how Facebook is going to do that is by using the pixel. Okay, they're going to use the pixel that we spoke about earlier to know when people add stuff to their cart. So before we get into creating this actual campaign, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a pixel, and then I'm going to show you guys how to install this pixel, and then we're going to create this campaign that is going to optimize for add to carts. So in order to create the pixel, we're going to come back here to our ad manager, and we're going to click on the top left and then click on pixels, okay? It's going to take us to this area where nothing is going to be there, or it's going to lag, Awesome. The Facebook manager does this sometimes where it literally does not want to work. Like it's literally not going there. Okay, so after clicking on this pixel like 3 times, it finally worked. So it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. You're going to click on create a pixel. Okay, so you're going to call it whatever you want. You're going to click create. And then that's it. Like your pixel is created, right? And it's going to start tracking all these different events, and it's going to give you this pixel ID up here. So how I want to integrate this pixel first, and how I'm going to show you guys, is on a Shopify store. So if you have a Shopify store, this is how you will integrate it into your website. So let's go here to one of my demo Shopify stores. I'm going to log into the admin section. Let me go ahead and do I'm going to go to online store. I'm going to go to preferences. And then right here, it says Facebook pixel. Okay. And I'm going to enter that pixel code that I have right over here. So I have this pixel code here. I'm going to copy and paste it right there. Just the number. Okay. I'm going to press save. And that's it. So that is it. So Shopify is going to take care of the rest. Okay. They're going to handle everything from calculating when people add to cart. They're going to handle everything from people seeing your website and all of that information, right? So now every time someone hops into this website, into this URL, it's going to be tracked here. And later on, we're going to be able to run advertisements to that. So that's how you set up the Facebook pixel on a Shopify store. Now I'm going to show you on a WordPress website, okay? So I'm going to come right here to one of our WordPress websites. And so what we're going to do once we're inside of our WordPress site is that we're going to download a plugin called Pixel Your Site, okay? And after you do that, you're just going to go to the actual plugin down here. And there's going to be an area here, see, add your pixel ID. And that's it. You're just going to put the pixel ID there, and the plugin will automatically manage and handle everything that has to do with your store as far as creating the actual page views and sending the data back. To a certain extent, right? The add to carts, you would have to connect that with WooCommerce, but then it would be able to do that. So after we connected our pixel, then we're ready to create our convergence campaign. So in order to create our convergence campaign, we're going to come back to, I don't want to go there. We're going to come back to our ads manager. And then we're going to create a conversions. Actually, let's go on to the same account. So we're going to come back into our ad manager. We're going to create a conversions campaign. Okay. And here it's going to ask you, hey, what do you want to optimize for? So we're going to select the name first. We're going to hit continue. And here, select the conversion right here, right? So we already have our pixel selected. It's the pixel that we literally just made. And up here, we're going to select whether we want to optimize for add to cart, whether we want to optimize for initiate checkout, for add payment info, for purchase, for lead, for complete registration, right? So I personally run a lot of advertisements to get people to register for webinars, right? So I would optimize for complete registration. But in this example, we're optimizing for add to cart. And so again, what that's going to do is that it's going to allow Facebook to go and grab more people that have completed this specific action, okay? And it's also gonna quantify your results based on that. So you're gonna be able to see, I'm paying $3 per add to cart, I'm paying $2 per add to cart, I'm getting this much money in purchases, right? And you're gonna be able to that way see whether this campaign makes sense. So that's kind of what I wanted to focus on as far as the conversions is concerned. Everything from that point forward is basically the same in all Facebook ads. So you're gonna create your custom audience, you're gonna select your audience down here based on your interest, based on the whole thing. Then you're going to select your daily budget, you're going to hit continue, and you're going to be able to create your ads. And now what I want to focus on for the next couple of minutes as we wrap this up is what's really going to allow us to drive value from all these different events and all the data that we're gathering. And what that is are custom audiences and the power that custom audiences have when it comes to creating our campaigns. So what we just went over is how do we create an engagement campaign? How do we create a campaign in general? And how important it is to create convergence campaigns and campaigns that actually have a marketing objective of exactly what we want to do, okay? And so where we're going to go now is we're going to go into our audiences section. So if you guys hit up here on the top left, there's going to be somewhere in here that says audiences right there. We're going to click on it. And we're going to be able to use data from our pixel in order to create custom audiences. So we could create a custom audience. We could create a lookalike audience. We could create a saved audience, but in order to create a lookalike, we already need an audience. So the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to create a custom audience. And if maybe you have your customers' emails currently, right? Maybe you have an Excel sheet or some sort of customer file with a whole bunch of emails. You would be able to do that by clicking right here on customer file. And then that's going to be pretty cool because you're going to be able to target your exact customers with Facebook ads. Or you could hit right here on website traffic, which is the most popular. And what you're going to do when you click on website traffic is that you're going to select who your audience is going to be. So all website visitors in the last 30 days, you could go up to 180 days, people who visited specific web pages, or visitors by time spent. So for example, when you see an advertisement that gets triggered when you go to a website. So let's say you visit KatyPerryShoes.com because you really want to buy her shoes. And then you go on Facebook and you see advertisements that have to do with that same store. What that person did, the person managing the advertisement, was that they created a custom audience of all website visitors, right? And these audiences update by themselves, right? So it's not like you create it and then it only gets it with the people up to that point. Like it's going to have all the website visitors in the past 30 days, including the ones that are coming in every once in a while. So what happens there is that they're targeting they have an audience of all the website visitors, and then their campaign is towards these people, right? This audience. So I could do all website visitors, or what I could do here is I could do people who, for example, let's say that you have your coffee shop. Let's come here to 2 Mil Club again. I think this is a live store. Yeah. So we have this product here that's a bike, right? So what I could do is I could copy this URL up here, and I could put that there, right? So this is an audience for people who visited this bike. And then I could do include more. So hold on, I'm gonna exclude, right? So people who visited this page, and then people who, because I could also do here events. Where are they? So the events actually aren't gonna show because I don't have any yet, but I'm also going to be able to select here people who did not purchase it, right? So once your pixel starts getting more events, you're going to be able to select on this drop down the purchase event, okay? So that means is that these people went to go see this bike, but they didn't buy it, okay? And then you could create that audience, and you could be like interested in bike, didn't buy, right? And then you could show specific advertisements to these people in which you acknowledge the fact that they're interested in it, but that they didn't buy it. Maybe you offer them a discount or something of the sort. And then what you're going to be able to do, let's create this audience here of people who, let's just create a basic one of all website visitors. Okay, I'm going to create this interested in bike. And as we do that, it's going to take a little while to populate. And so what I want to do is that the more data that I have in here, right, the more people that are interested in this bike and that didn't buy, or the more people that visited my website. And where the real power comes in Facebook advertisement is in creating lookalike audiences. And how you do that is that you first create a custom audience, and then you come here, you hit on this little check mark, you click on actions, create lookalike, okay? And after you do that, it's going to bring up this screen right here, and you're going to select your locations, okay? What locations do you want to include this lookalike audience from? And this just means from most closely related to farthest, right? So 10% different or 1% different. If you leave it at 1%, then it's going to find people that are as closely related to your audience, okay? So let's say we have 1,000 people that visited our website. I'm going to come here and I'm going to type in United States, okay? What this is going to do once I create this audience is that it's going to find 2.1 million people, right? We saw the number there, 2.1 million people who are like the people that were interested in bike but didn't buy in the United States, okay? So, I mean, just saying that shows how powerful that is, because what I'm able to do now is that I'm able to come back to the ads manager, and then I'm able to create an ad, right? I'm going to create a campaign. I'm going to select, let's actually start over. I'm going to select the conversions here. I'm going to click continue. And then I'm going to select that I want to optimize for add to cart, okay? And then how you select these custom audiences is down here, right? You see right here where it says custom audience. So in here, I would be able to select the people that are interested in bike but didn't buy, or that lookalike audience, okay? And lookalike audiences is extremely powerful, because if you're able to combine a lookalike audience with interests, then your campaigns are going to do so much better. Or just simply lookalike audiences. Like 80% of my campaigns are just lookalike audiences. Like, for example, I have 1,000 people that registered for a webinar. I tell Facebook, hey, Facebook, go and create a lookalike audience of 1,000 people that just registered for my webinar, and I'm going to run advertisements just to those people. And that's extremely effective because Facebook does a really good job of finding people that are really similar. And so, guys, that's everything from the basics of Facebook advertising to setting up a brand new campaign, all the way to doing some really advanced strategies that people are not doing at all today as far as retargeting. Okay, that's what's called retargeting. How does someone come to your website and then you somehow figure out a way to create a campaign that is able to reach out to them again in order for you to get them back to your website, to purchase again, to come back to your business. And it all comes down to a couple of steps, right? Obviously, you have to create your profile on business.facebook.com. You need to create your Facebook page. You need a Facebook page because that's what the advertisement is going to be from. You need to create the pixel and you need to connect it. And it's important that you maybe even do that first so that you could start capturing as much data as possible. And then the most important parts after that is your audience, right? You need to target the right people. If you have a coffee shop and you're putting that advertisement in front of people who like dogs, you're probably not going to be effective, right? You need to put that in front of people who are interested in coffee, who are interested in things that have to do with what you're offering. And then to take it a step further and to go really advanced, what you do is that you create these custom audiences based on people who visit your website, okay? So you create a campaign of people who have visited your website, people who have visited certain products in your website but have not purchased. And then to take it even a step further and to really master Facebook advertisement, you do things such as create lookalike audiences, okay? You have 1,000 people who bought a product, you have 100 people who bought a product, you create an audience that looks like those people, and then you target them. And guys, if anything in this video was confusing, if you guys need any clarification on anything, ask in the comments. I'm gonna answer to every single one to make sure that you guys are able to get this, that you're able to apply this from absolute zero. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. There's gonna be a lot more entrepreneurship videos, how-to videos, some car videos here and there because I'm obsessed with cars. But make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit a like, hit a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and post a comment below on what you liked most about this video and what type of businesses you guys have in which you're going to start applying this into. So I'll see you on the next video tomorrow, and thanks for watching.